screen is visible. Hope the
Yes, the screen is visible. You can run the PPT. One second. So, hi everyone. Good morning and good evening to every one of you. So, guys, before we actually start the demo session, I just want to give you a quick brief on the trainings, the sessions, the Ariba trainings and other trainings we are, conducting. And since we are conducting a demo session on only on Ariba right now, so I'll be discussing a little on that one. So we have Manish with us. Manish is having more than 16 plus years of experience in procurement in SAP Ariba, SRM, and MM as well. Okay, right now he's working with one of the good MNC as a solution architect. Okay, he has already got involved in many implementation rollout and also hypercare support projects as well. Many projects like entire SAP Ariba coming to upstream downstream integration. In integration also he has done complex integrations as well. Okay, so he is going to be our mentor going forward, and I hope like every one of you will get 100% you know benefit out of him. Brief about the training: we are one of the very leading training providers here in India and abroad also. So this Ariba training alone we are doing since 2016 onwards. So I can say almost more than 9 years we are into SAP Ariba trainings, apart from the other trainings as well. So far we have completed lot many batches, almost 6,000 plus professionals we have trained in SAP Ariba. We can say very proudly. Okay, and our focus is consistently to make the things like make the participants not only to understand, to just do the configurations, but also we are more focused on their learnings in order for them to understand the entire subject, and also they should be very well equipped to face any kind of interviews. Okay, that's the very big problem most of the participants will be facing after attending a typical training. Okay, so our training is not going to be in such a way like after the training again the participants will be having a lot of gaps. They can't face the interview. They don't have any real time touch in terms of hands on learnings. Okay, so we are going to fill all those gaps over here. Okay, apart from this one, if somebody is already working just onboarded in SAP Ariba project, and also they are looking to work in Ariba project efficiently, so this is going to be a very good training for them as well. Okay, so we are both focusing on the theoretical aspects, but majorly is going to be very much practical training considering the project scenarios as well. We'll be sharing lot many project documentations and every concept we are covering with the real-time scenarios. Okay, going forward in the last end of the session or end of the demo, I'll be showing the type of documents, like how many set of documents we are having, and even the configuration documents which are being prepared by our expert consultants, and also SAP documentation is also there. So lot many things are there, guys, to go ahead. I'll be showing all the documentations, everything which we'll be sharing later on end of the session. So please stay ahead, stay connected with us. uh, Manish,
yeah,
we can take it over. Okay,
yeah,
so
sure.
yeah, if anything in between, any doubts are have you guys are having, you can stop and you can ask the queries, guys. So it's a let's make the session very interactive. Okay, so that we'll have a everyone should have a good understanding. Yeah, all right, guys, thank you so much. Over to you, Manish.
Thanks, Iraj. Thanks for the introduction. Hello, team. Good evening and good morning, wherever you are. So let's start the journey of our SAP Ariba. First of all, thanks for joining. And I would like to, get a small introduction about yourself as well before we start this session. So it will be very, useful for me as well as the whole audience, like from where you people are, like, what projects you might have done and what is the career aspect and why you are choosing SAP Ariba. So I just didn't want to get small, quick introduction with you, like a quick just your name as well as what is the background you might have been. If you can start with Nitin, it's good.
Hi Manish. Hi everyone. So this is Nitin. I'm from India itself. So I'm completely from different background. So I'm a mechanical engineer. So I kind of shifted to IT recently. So I wanted to learn SAP Ariba because people have suggested me to do so. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So it's a
Yeah.
word of mouth. Okay, okay,
Right. Yeah.
okay. So okay,
Thank you.
okay. Thanks, Nitin, for thanks for joining. Abhilasha, I think if you can go next.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. I am based in Berlin, Germany, and I have experience as product owner and currently in IT software industry, and currently on a career break. And so I wanted to start afresh. Like my aim is to have nice job like next year. So somebody suggested somebody, and that somebody is my husband. He
Okay.
suggested that why don't you do this course, and I have no idea. So this is
Mhm.
like I am here an alien to this course, but I since I trust him, I trust my husband, and it's like okay, let me do this. And so I'm here to get the hands on, at least taste of it, and I'll see how it goes. And I'm really looking forward to it because I'm expecting a bigger role for myself professionally next year.
Okay, okay. Welcome aboard. I believe you will be able to, correlate what procurement is and what SAP Ariba can do. Okay, thanks for the quick introduction. Shishir, if you can go next.
Hi everyone, my name is Shishir. I'm actually from a finance background, and I was actually suggested to the course by my friend Nathan, who we heard earlier. I also wanted to take a different direction in my career, so I'm trying that.
Okay, thanks, Shishir. Chandra, if you can quickly uh, let me know about your background. Chandra, if you can hear me.
Yeah, I think many some of the participants may not be,
Okay,
having access to the mic. Okay,
okay, no
so
worries.
is anyone is speaking? Is Chandra is messaging in the chat board. Okay,
Okay,
I
okay.
think okay,
Sorry.
Chandra, I'll help you out. Not an issue. So we do have Franklin.
Yeah, yeah, Franklin, go ahead, please.
Hi guys, my name is Franklin. We've been doing procurement. I live in the US, Washington DC area. Been doing procurement for about 30 years, and I came from a non-IT background. During the past 10 years, my employer has been using SAP ECC, what would probably be for HANA, in all the countries we're using now. But we're trying to move from ECC to Ariba, so I'm trying to be ahead of the game to get into it.
Okay, okay, okay. Thanks, Franklin. Thanks for joining in. Pramod, if you can go next.
Hey, hi team. Pramod this side. So I'm having total almost 13 years of experience in procurement. Previous to this, I was using Ariba as an end user, like S2C. And after that, at my current profile, I'm as a functional consultant here. And I joined this course just to brush it up and gain more knowledge on integration and collaboration of SAP S/4HANA to Ariba. Thanks, team.
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you all for joining. So let's
Yeah.
quickly get
And
started.
sorry, those who are still want to have any sort of introduction, those who are unable to mute themselves, so you can still post your details in the chat window. That would be helpful for us. So guys, to just let you everyone know quickly, so we do have very relevant participants, okay, and the learning is going to be very interesting and efficient going forward. Okay, we have such a nice mentor Manish, who is very experienced, I can say. He is very excellent person personally as well. So you will definitely enjoy the today's session as also, and also the sessions going forward. So be open and be interactive, guys. It's very much open. Okay, yeah. Thank you so much. Appreciate. Back to over to you, Manish. Yeah,
Yeah,
please continue.
thanks, Airaj. Okay, okay. So let's start. Today's agenda will be like the quick introduction about SAP Ariba, how the word Ariba and SAP got get married to each other, and why SAP Ariba, why we are choosing Ariba as a career. Okay, that we are gonna look into it. Apart from that, there are multiple Ariba modules altogether. It is not like only Ariba is just a module. Within Ariba, there are many sub modules, and believe me, even 2 or 3 modules can excel your career very very in large. Okay, So I think I will walk you through what are different Ariba modules, okay, and even what is the future of Ariba, because going in 2026, actually only few days are back, like 10, 11 days are down the line. So there are many new things which is coming from Ariba next year. So those also I want to go and touch base over there. Apart from that, we'll have a quick way how SAP Ariba any project delivery methodology will work, how SAP Ariba project is getting delivered in a real time. Those as a kind of a project management overview, I will give that. And obviously with a very basic process flow, like starting from the very basics, from starting to creating a supplier or vendor or a business partner in S4 HANA. So until the whole P2P cycle, with the help of process flow, we'll walk you through. And we also have a live system, a small demo which I just wanted to cover up. And obviously at the last it will be a Q&A, question and answer session. But still, if you have any doubts, okay, meanwhile please feel to stop me if I'm going very fast, or if you think that the session is not going in that direction, just let me know so that I can immediately give a walk around whatever you might have missed, okay, or you want to repeat. So so let me know, okay. So so this is the introduction of SAP Ariba. In the next sessions, on the next slides, we will talk like why SAP, or what is the understanding of SAP Ariba. Okay, first of all, SAP Ariba it's itself a cloud-based procurement platform. You might have used or you might have heard of it. So it is exactly a SaaS product, software as a service. Actually it's a product owned by SAP. Just think of your different kind of module. For example, you might have heard of SAP Concur, SAP Success Factor, so these are all procurement SaaS products, okay, or SAP Field Glass, okay. So similarly SAP Ariba is exactly similar. It's a cloud based procurement platform. It has all the capacities from strategic sourcing, all the procurement activities, it will be done in this platform, okay. And the meaning the cloud based is nothing. The If you have a laptop or if you have internet connection, you will have a URL, that's it. You should not have multiple connection or multiple Citrix browser. There is no those features are not so much of exclusive for this. So you should just, it's a SaaS product and simple, very simple, okay. So in default, it will also help, SAP Ariba will help the buyers or the suppliers to interact globally on a platform called SAP Business Network, so that they can conduct all the business transaction efficiently, okay. So each buyer you can think of like as a kind of your client, you may just think of your end user. So they are called buyers and they have multiple ways of procurement, right? They can procure n number of goods, or they can also go for the services, right? So all the suppliers, all the vendors across the globe, they can come and interact on SAP Business Network with the help of all the integration intact from S4 HANA or different ERP as well. It is not like SAP Ariba is only confined to S4 HANA. Obviously it's a suggestible, but SAP Ariba also interact with other like for example Oracle or JD Edwards. There are many multiple ERP as well where they get interacted, okay. So the core purpose will the just to streamline source to pay processes. Okay, the network cell is massive and humongous. More than 6 million companies are connected and they are doing, interaction or the business on SAP Ariba platform. Okay. The transaction value, as per the, Gartner, you might be aware of, few of the like Bloomberg or the other companies. According to them, the transaction value is actually annually it is going $4.5 trillion. Okay, it is crossing that. So you can just think of the how massive and big Ariba network is, and how reliable it is going forward, okay. So the global reach is obviously SAP Ariba is actually getting supported around across the globe. That is 190 plus countries are supported, and there are many government e-portals, like more than 20 plus government portals interactions are also happening, okay. So that is easily interacted and integrated are there, okay. So you can think of all the Indian GST system or global, for China it is golden taxation system. Those are also getting interacted on SAP Business Network. Apart from obviously Europe and America regions are there. For Mexico and Brazil also there is support of it. So this is a quick walkthrough of SAP Ariba. Okay, so let me go to the next. So the Ariba, acquisition story. Okay, so Ariba was actually founded as a standalone company in 1996. Okay, it was started as a B2B e-commerce pioneer. Okay, so in 2012, SAP acquired and SAP spent lot of money, $4.3 billion at that time. It is one of the SAP's largest acquisition, and for them, it was one of the first cloud product which they have purchased. Earlier, before 2012, it was a standalone on-demand solution of SAP Ariba. So when 2014 happened, at that time SAP tried to integrate or merge their SAP's big ERP system with their ecosystem. Okay, so they have tried to merge or they have tried to integrate all of their bundled SAP ERP with Ariba, and then 2021 hit, and then it's a rebranding of SAP Ariba Network to SAP Business Network. Okay, so right now SAP Business Network is one of the largest platform. So this is one of the rebranding as a strategic rebranding to get unified of all the business network strategy, because earlier than during when the COVID happened, right, you can see the disruption of the supply chain. So that time SAP took a very bold decision to merge all the three different network into one. It is SAP Business Network. Okay. So right now we are starting in 2026, and in Feb or quarter one of 2026, there is a next gen SAP Ariba getting introduced, and it's a first or AI native ecosystem which is exactly built on SAP BTP. I think you might be aware of SAP BTP is one of the emerging player in the market where like all the business transformation is taking place. Okay, so let's move on. If you have any doubt as of now, if you want to stop me, just let me know. Any doubts as of now? Okay, so let's go with the SAP Ariba module. In short, or in a very layman language, SAP Ariba can be distinguished between three types of component or three types of system. Okay, and each module is actually very unique and has all these different set of configuration and different set of interaction with S4 HANA as well as a different ERP system. Okay, the first and foremost, as a bundle product, it is called SAP Ariba Sourcing and Analytics, or SAP Ariba Sourcing Integration Suite. Okay, so within SAP Ariba Sourcing and Analytics suite, we have SAP Ariba Sourcing, SAP Ariba Contract, okay, and SAP Ariba Supplier Lifecycle and Performance. So if you go each and every, I think definitely I'm gonna talk in the next couple of slides about each sourcing modules, what is the significance and what are the different features. So and this is more about the strategic sourcing part which any organization will do in the SAP Ariba sourcing. Okay, the contract is the contract management, all the authoring of the contract, all the master agreement or the SOWs. So those will take place over there. The independent review, the legal reviews and other aspect will happen in the Ariba contract. Okay, and obviously the end document, it can be interacted to S/4HANA. It can be a standalone bundled system within SAP Ariba ecosystem. Okay, so there is what it is, and all the one-stop solution for your vendor onboarding. Okay, your vendor or supplier onboarding is called SAP Ariba SLP solution. We call SAP Ariba Lifecycle and Performance. So you will have all the KPIs. How to rate or how to interact with the vendor. So this solution, that is a one stop solution for all, and it will automate your vendor onboarding in S4 HANA as well, because there are multiple BPs which is getting created on monthly basis or even weekly basis if it's a very large customer. So there you will have SAP Ariba SLP as a very large player, this can also get interacted with your SAP MDG, that is Master Data Governance. Okay, so there is also, it's a very good and very easy module, I would say. SLP is one of the very basic and easy module to learn, and very quickly you can grasp it. And the next will be SAP Ariba Supplier Risk. Okay, so this is one of the risk management. They have multiple, third party interaction. For example, Vertex can interact with SAP Ariba supplier risk. Okay, and even the Bloomberg for the different parameters and other. So you can create multiple of risk, and you potential risk which can impact your supply chain. Okay, so you can be well before you know what will gonna happen in your future of that supplier. Okay, so let's suppose there are many certification which supplier need to have it, right? So that could be one of your KPIs, and those can be, easily managed in Ariba supplier risk management. Okay, and the last in this strategic sourcing suite will be SAP Ariba spend analysis. So it's a kind of a different dashboard, all of your data in one of the analytical dashboard. It's a very large system, and all it is more of the data analytics part. Okay, and this will give your procurement, like, what to say, the CXO levels of people, they will interact with this analytics, and they can take firm decision on their next step. Okay, so the next will be the operational procurement. Okay, so this is one of the only, from purchase requisition creation till payment, so those can be standalone handle for the indirect procurement. Okay, for this SAP Ariba operational procurement, the first module is buying and invoicing bundled. Okay, and you can also have, like a separate or distinguished module called SAP Ariba buying. Okay, the other is the standalone SAP Ariba invoice management. For some customers, we have deployed as a standalone Ariba buying module or invoice management. It totally depends on their license fees, or you can say like what is their business requirement. Okay, and if they just want to go with the catalog management, we called SAP Ariba catalog. In this, your Amazon business can be interacted, or any other supplier, hosted punch out catalogs. Those can also be getting interacted on this. And this is one of the very good module where supplier can give all of their catalog in form of the purchase requisition level. Okay. So this is one of the good module, and it's also very slightly easy to understand and easy to grasp as a beginner. Okay, so the next advance is one of the feature called SAP Ariba Invoice Conversion Services, ICS. Okay, and Open ICS is also there. So there's nothing but your scan copy, PDF copy. If the vendor is not willing to onboard on Ariba, so they can send their ICE, like invoices, the scanned copy, the PDF. Okay, in their multi-language support is there actually over in SAP Ariba ICS and Open ICS. So those service provider will do the hard work, and they will actually upload and convert the data in Ariba readable format. It is Ariba always read in CXML format. Okay, so that is the key. And one of the thing, if you see, the SAP Business Network is the third very concrete module, and within this, for the direct procurement, we have commerce automation, we have supply chain collaboration. It's a full-fledged, or a very like full like from integration, it will take happen. All the data, whatever is happening in S4 HANA, it is a complex for subcontracting module and other consignment and all the multi-tier purchase order. This will be captured in the SCC, supply chain collaboration. SAP Ariba also offers you the payables, like the bank integration and the other only, like, SAP Ariba payables. So SAP Ariba has a channel or the medium where only the payment cycle can happen. Okay, auto payment proposals can happen. So those can be taken in SAP Ariba payables, and it's a separate module altogether. Okay, so the last, and it is the SAP Ariba discount management. Okay, so again, it is one of the very interactive, what to say, the discount management, whatever the discounts can be handled in the system with the S4 as well as the Ariba. So those can be taken in this module. Okay. So let's again, I wanted to break down the journey of SAP Business Network from, the it is a very long journey, from SAP Ariba network to SAP Business Network. It is not only the renaming or the rebranding, it is the whole change of the dynamics, because right now we are living in the AI powered, right? Or because there's so many new technology transformation happened. It is continuous innovation is happening across the globe and across the different business products. So even SAP is trying to evolve over there, and SAP is actually is a very niche in this procurement cloud product. So that is, you can say, in the phase one for the Ariba network during the era of 1996 to 2012, it was an independent B2B marketplace only connecting between buyers and suppliers. Okay, obviously there were transactional codes which is happening, but when SAP acquired it, so there is a lot many landscape open for the SAP ERP to get interact with because all the database and all the SAP Ariba ecosystem was wide open to interact with Ariba. Okay, and it was the expansion of SAP as a strategy to to control the market of the procurement world. Okay, so that is what the integration with SAP ERP began, and the procurement capabilities enhanced when they acquired Ariba. Okay, so there are the phase 3 when it happened in the COVID era, that is 2021, and obviously at present, as of now, if you can see, there were multiple players in the market, and for Ariba also it was a there were three different platform for the network which they tried to uniform and bring as this whole, that is we call logistics Ariba network, asset intelligence and supply chain collaboration network. Okay, so everything was merged into one, and right now we called SAP Business Network as a whole. Okay, so this is a very massive transformation within the SAP Business Network which happened. And I think you can, when you get to know more about Ariba, you will also try to get more of what SAP Business Network is. Okay, as of now, any doubt?
No.
No doubt. I have a question.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
So this slide says something about AI powered. To what extent
Mhm.
is SAP Ariba
Yeah,
including AI?
yeah. So SAP has a strategy of as a co-pilot. Okay, SAP is now entering into era of Gen AI, right? So SAP has the Joule. Joule is one of the SAP's own built up uh, Gen AI or the interactive sessions where it will be properly ML and AI features are used. Apart from that, SAP Ariba will try to suggest the different modules. For example, Ariba intake management, it's a very brand new where all the AI capabilities of SAP is getting used on the BTP platforms. So they will try to suggest you which plan to choose. I'm just giving you a very basic example, okay? Because usually you have to fill the plant or you have to fill the company code, right? Either it can be auto filled or user has to fill it, right? So what Joule will do, you have to just write a prompt. I believe right now you might be aware what a prompt is, because right now we people all use Chat GPT and Copilot and other platform, right? Exactly similarly, within SAP Ariba, we have a Joule integration. Joule is the SAP's own Copilot, you can say like that. So there we will have all the AI capacities, and SAP is utilizing that. I hope I answered you. I have a proper slide even for the SAP Joule and the next gen Ariba. So I believe it will be more clear. Just wait for 10, 15, or few minutes more. It will be more cleared for you. Is it okay?
Understood. It's fine. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. So I'm moving to the more core modules and slight in depth what Ariba sourcing and other platform of Ariba is. First of all, let's start with the Ariba sourcing. It is a strategic sourcing and supplier selection module. So, for example, you want to circulate any RFI or RFP or RFQ, okay, to multiple vendors, okay. So you need to, initiate any, for example, RFP, okay. You have to initiate in the system, and it will try to get all the bid from across the vendor across the globe. For example, you have a multi-supplier reach. Some suppliers are sitting in Asia Pacific, some are in, for example, EMEA region, or some are in, like Africa, okay. And you want to collect the bid, okay, from them, or you want to conduct a live auction. So we have all the capacities, like Ariba sourcing will take care of those, like all the strategic sourcing level of data. The evaluation will also happen, whatever the KPIs you might have configured, okay. Like the, for example, due to some reason, that supplier can be auto discarded, or can be given, like, hey, your response is too high, okay. The system can indicate all those or the system will take care all of your supplier evaluation automatically based on the template level of configuration, okay. Once a RFP is actually getting completed, you can also negotiate on the contract, and they can interact with the SAP Ariba contract management tool, okay. So straight away, you need not have to, worry about extracting all your awarded RFP in Excel. No, you have to just flip it, or it can be an auto flip as well, all the RFP what you proposed, or whatever the awarded RFP, that can be, flipped to Ariba contract, or it can be sent to S4 HANA directly, as simple as that. So the integration is way real time, next to real time, and it can be integrated with S4 HANA as well, all the sourcing or the Ariba contract. So it depends on that. So again, within the contract, you have to start a contract management, okay. All the compliance tracking, for example, your legal team, for example, your IT team, or your finance team, okay. So those have to have a review, right, before giving a, a supplier to be onboarded, right. So they can have their individual task, or they can have their individual tracking, system. The full-fledged project management system, you can say that, that can be achieved in Ariba contracts, okay. Any renewal, for example, any contract is, pending, or it is, due for pending for 6 months, it should be auto renewed, or it should be the new certification should be asked. Those can be easily tracked in the system, and system can, trigger auto generated emails to, respective owners of the contract, to give appropriate, certification, or take a appropriate decision to continue or renew the Ariba contract, okay. So moving on to the Ariba procurement, it's a full P2P simplified. All of your requisitioning will happen in Ariba. No need to go to S4 HANA, or you have to hop on to different screens, right? So all the requisitioning you can, there's no, like, it's a very small, and what to say, this is dashboard is so interactive, and can be very UI is so smooth, that you can, get it in a very less number of time. You should not need so much of sessions or training to understand, the requisitioning process and all, because usually in S4 HANA, company will spend lot of their time, or the investment is lot on the change management, right. So those need not will happen in Ariba. It is very quick and smooth transitioning will happen to your end users once you try as a consultant, or as a, uh, coming to the as a Ariba in this world. When you will try to configure, so it is a very smooth process for the end user. You can assimilate the idea, and you can, give those idea to the end user, and perform their activities and day-to-day activities in a very smooth and simplified manner, okay. So all the requisitioning and the purchase order, and even the catalog management, for example, you have very large vendor who is having very tech savvy vendors, right. They want to integrate their own, what to say, the platform in their Ariba. So those is also possible with APC or Ariba catalog management, you can say that. And very simplified version of P2P is we call guided buying, okay. So that is also a separate standalone system, where all the UI clicks is very simplified. Okay, in a matter of 4 to 5 click, you can create a PR, or it can be also slightly automated based on the business requirement. Okay, all the approval flow based on your dollar amount. For example, if it's a $500 PR, okay, it should be auto receive. So those functionality and all the workflow approval can be, automated or can be customized based on the business requirement. Okay, so moving on to Ariba supplier management, as I previously mentioned 10 minutes back, that Ariba SLP or Ariba supplier management is a one-stop solution for all of your supplier onboarding, risk assessment, performance monitoring, and even the compliance tracking. Okay, if you want to, for example, register a vendor or a qualify a vendor based on a certificate. Okay, because let's suppose in the, we'll take a very good example. In USA, there are, I think, more than 50 states where each state will have their own license or the certification, right, or the insurance certificate. So every vendor need to have mandatory as a certificate, and based on those certificate date, a vendor should be qualified or disqualified in the Ariba system. Those level of automation is possible, and the vendor will be intimated that, hey, your certification is due for expiry, kindly upload. So that level of automation and the interaction is way smooth, because you do not need to bog down your head, hey, my supplier is, why it is not getting qualified, or what is the issue. So system will try to auto generate and auto enhance the all the capacities to inform you as a buyer as well as the supplier. So that is the beauty of SLP. Okay, do you have any doubt?
Uh,
Yeah.
Great, Manish, great. Guys, some of you might be, coming from the very basic background. So you might be coming across some of the terminologies like, uh, spend visibility, or what I can say, sourcing project, or P2P cycle. So don't worry on that one. Okay. So today we are just considering all the aspects of Ariba. Okay. We are just touch basing all important areas of Ariba in a very, very high level format. Like, we are not going in depth. So whichever the topics, whichever the modules we are discussing here, each and every module we are going to discuss in detail going forward. Okay, no worries if you are, feeling little, what Manish is talking is looking means like, you're feeling like it's Latin and Greek. It's absolutely fine. Okay, at one go, some of you, mean most of our crowd here is already, experienced in procurement. If some of you are very new to the things, nothing to worry. Going forward, we are going to go in depth of the things. We are, for our methodology over here is like, we are going to clear the concepts first. Okay, then we are moving on to the a particular scenario. Then we are going to do the configurations in the systems, in the system actually. So that will make you have a clear understanding what, how exactly is like, how exactly Ariba is being used. Not only that, but way to use based upon the scenarios, like different scenarios or business scenarios, case studies. You are going to understand like which are the things which, how you are going to provide the solutioning in SAP Ariba, which is very important over here. So in short, I can say, if you are unable to understand some of the, terminologies here, that's absolutely fine for you guys. Okay, so if you still want to ask any of the questions, please be open to ask. You don't feel like, if I'm asking certain questions, that may be yours, so it's not that worth of asking this kind of question. There is no question like, it's not worthy. Okay, we really want everyone to be very interactive, guys. Okay, thank you so much. Sorry, Manish, I just need to say something because some of the
Yeah, no
participants.
worries. Yeah, thanks. I think,
Yeah,
yeah, that
please.
was the, yeah, yeah. Okay, so there are few Ariba advanced module, for example, Ariba spend analysis, Ariba supply chain collaboration, Ariba discount management, and SAP business network. Okay, so I will just talk about the SAP supply chain collaboration. It is like your all the subcon purchase order, all the multi-tier purchase order. Okay, the consignment purchase order, those interaction, your for example, forecast collaboration, okay, or the quality collaboration, all of the things which is happening in your S4 HANA is actually a standalone within your S4 HANA, right? So supplier needs to get interacted outside of the system. So no need. We have covered, Ariba has covered in one of the module called SAP Ariba supply chain. So there, all the order collaboration, the inventory will be visible to the vendor, okay, and whatever the demand management or the forecast, any, for example, in your shelf, okay, few things or the few goods has been decreased, so you can, intimate vendor as a real time. So from S4HANA, the inventory management, everything, those aspects is also getting covered in SAP supply chain collaboration. Okay, so let's it will be a slightly deep dive of integration which I wanted to share in this particular slide. Ariba has a, like, if you see these, I need your, good attention to understand this slide, to be very frank. Because Ariba cloud integration is one of the middleware which is actually owned by SAP, CPI platforms. It is built on SAP CPI. Okay, so this is nothing but the data interaction, how within your buyer S4 HANA or your ERP, data is getting interacted with SAP Ariba cloud platform. If you see the SAP Ariba network at the middle, the buyer portal is having there, and the supplier portal is having their own account on Ariba network. Okay, so data will be a bi-directional. Okay, from S4 HANA, whatever data, for example, purchase order is getting created in S4 HANA. Okay, if it's a supply chain or commerce automation scenario, so data will initiate from here, and all the, like, order confirmation will flow from supplier to back to the S4 HANA. Those data will happen. So we have cloud connector. Okay, so this is more of the CIG is the heart of the interaction between your S4 HANA or ERP system, and as well as the supplier. They will also have their n number of, system which may or may not be SAP, right? They can have their own standard format of giving the data in EDI. Okay, or this is a very like primitive way of giving the data earlier, in the earlier days, which is also right now it is possible. So they can have their, for example, CXML is one of the good and widely used medium from vendor to interact on the with S4 HANA, right? So CIG is one of your capabilities where you can transform your data, you can put your custom mapping, you can monitor all the transaction in a real time. Okay, so this is a kind of a technical which I wanted to just cover for you guys. If you have any doubt in this slide, otherwise I can move to the next. Okay, so right now, I think I covered majority what Ariba is. As at this point of time, you should be aware, like why we should be have some few questions like why SAP Ariba. Okay, so let me answer very straight to the point. First of all, we all know, like, we are obviously want to, increase, or if we want to upskill our career, we need monetary benefit as well, right? So it's a high demanding career path. Okay, first of all, and that was the first point. Okay, so Ariba has, believe me, Ariba date, like, year on year increase for the Ariba consultants, or if you hop on a new uh like, new company, or you have a job switch, believe me, it will be a rewarding if you go with SAP Ariba, right? And it's a future proof technology. Nothing can beat in next 10 or even 15 years, because right now the cloud based platform of Ariba is actually having the capacities of AI, ML, and even the blockchain is coming in the future, right? AI, ML is already getting, enhanced from 2021 onwards for the Ariba. Okay, right now into 26, so they are also bringing more like capacities of Joule and Ariba intake management. Those are also in the roadmap of Ariba, which qualifies Ariba as a future-proof technology. Okay, so we have multiple career tracks. For example, you can be a technical consultant, you can be a functional consultant, or you can be both. Okay, and if you have good, or a, like, a very advanced in your career, you can project yourself as a architect. Okay, and obviously if you are having that career, like ambiguity, shall I move to project manager or stay in the technical background, you can also choose a track from Ariba and build your career as a project manager for the deployment of Ariba projects. Okay, and again, the global opportunities are wide open. As you know, SAPs work with almost all the strata of your, like, business world. So we deal majority of Fortune 500 company, meaning Ariba If you go and just hit any company, you may find Ariba over there, either in the past or it is still getting deployed, or believe me, that is in their roadmap plan to get deployed. Okay, because that is the market benefit of to get in Ariba as a whole. Okay, the business impact is also very high because the strategic decisions are taken on the Ariba platform, which help to save them million, and it is very relevant for the CXOs to you know go and get Ariba deployed and get benefit out of Ariba. Okay, so this is one of the uh, so I just wanted to have a quick comparison between the competitor of Ariba. As of now, in market we have Copa, we have Oracle Procurement and SAP Ariba, which is actually leading the whole market, right? But still, and there are many few more players in the market which is trying to give a competition. But when you see the exact metrics, for example, I will go with the market position in the Gartner. It has the leader level of the graph, so which is actually very good and very important as a key for SAP Ariba. Okay, if you see for the Coupa, it is a strong challenger. Okay, because they are trying to also build their product, but they are still very far compared to SAP Ariba and Oracle Procurement. They are already a good established player, but again, there is no competition between Ariba, as because we are in the Gartner leader role of Gartner list. Okay, the network size, if you see just based on this, we have 6 million plus supplier and the buyer interaction. For Coupa it is 100 around 400K, and for Oracle Procurement, due to their limitation, there is some limited network which is very vast and complex, so there is slightly difficulty over there. Coming to the ERP integration, SAP is the key differentiator. Okay, the native SAP integration, the flawless integration which is happening between SAP and SAP Ariba, that is a kind of a massive win for SAP. Okay, Coupa will support multi ERP support, but again, there's so much and heavy weightlifting will happen over there, because there's so much of customization which will take place in Coupa, compared to SAP Ariba. Okay, coming to the deployment, it's a pure cloud SaaS. Again, Coupa is also a pure cloud SaaS, but for Oracle, they are still on the on-prem, and they are trying to give cloud as well. Okay, the job market, if you go, it is the highest demand for the Ariba consultants as well as the architect of Ariba who know Ariba as a product. Okay, the AI capacities, because as they are now launching an advanced AI core, a native API, which is very enhanced capacities of Gen AI. SAP Joule is getting interacted with the SAP Ariba, which is also a clearly differentiator between the competitor. So obviously the key advantage is like SAP Ariba's massive network size as well as the integration which is getting built on SAP platform, which will give you a good success in your career. Okay, moving on to the future roadmap, this is one of the important aspect to consider, because right now we are in a phase where Ariba is evolving as a massive. Okay, right now Ariba is going to be built on BTP platform, which is nothing but the AI native ecosystem is getting transformation within Ariba. All the screens and all the UIs are also getting enhanced, which is actually getting uh, kind of a flavor for the AI in machine learning. Okay, so SAP has launched their own business AI platforms. Okay, so all the predictive analysis of the supplier, for example, all the automation of the contract analysis, or even the smart procurement assistant. Okay, so with the help of small prompt, you can now interact with Ariba. Okay, with because SAP have Gen AI co-pilot called Joule, they are very strong AI prompt built up. Okay, which is actually, for example, I just want to write and procure a laptop for 500 for my company. You have to just give it in a writing, and Ariba will try to, or Joule will try to help you with that. Okay, just like your co-pilot or chat GPT does. So those things are already getting shaped up within Ariba landscape, and obviously in 2026 and beyond, we are like getting those level of things for us as well. Okay, Ariba intake management is one of the very brand new modules within which happened, I think, 1 year back or few months. Many customers are actually trying to build on this platform, and it is a very touchless process, or hardly there is any configuration. Which there are few customization. Obviously, it is there, but it's no code, nothing. So it's just a drag and drop feature which can be happening on the SAP build. And obviously it's a cross system logic. For example, your your finance, your other areas will also get, even the PM. Okay, all the in three different modules or the multiple module of SAP will get interacted, and the data get refined in a real time basis. Okay, you no need to worry much. So this is the capacity or the future of Ariba, which is going to happen in 2026 and beyond. Okay, so it's a good time to switch career in Ariba. Okay, so quickly I wanted to give you what learning journey you should be having in the next few month if you are coming in Ariba. For example, you should be a foundational level, all the basics and the terminology as Iraj mentioned, those should be clear and crystal clear. Then you should get with the Ariba overview and the architecture, and obviously all the configuration and all I will take care, and I will try to give as much as what I have learned in the last 15-16 careers, years of experience of my career, which I will try to give it to you, and it will help your shape the career as well. Okay, i I would just want to focus you guys on 2 to 3 core modules of Ariba. Do not go for all the Ariba modules because it may be a very overwhelming for you, right? So focus on 2 to 3 after this training do we get conducted. So just try to focus, and believe me, you will see your in the real world what's you have the benefit of learning it. Okay, and then the integration with S4 HANA. So that is slightly advanced, and all the CIG capacities you should learn because that's a good to have. Okay, so those should be in your learning journey as well. And last but not is the getting a certified. You should be a SAP certified consultant to get around your CV, because it will add a value in your CV, and obviously the opportunities lie for you. Okay, any doubt as of now? Anything you wanted to ask on the learning journey? Okay, so let's take a
Hello.
small, yeah,
Okay.
go ahead.
No, no. So you okay. I was gonna ask how the delivery methodology is gonna be if we would have
Yeah.
access to test servers, not production. And then
Mhm.
I wanted the question you just said something very important. You said do not focus on all the modules, just choose some modules.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
mean so of do you mean like sub modules under one core module, or do you mean like choose just one core module, or you'll give us direction as we go?
Yeah, yeah, I will give you a direction, a concrete direction, because I have some, like roadmap for you as a trainer. Okay, I will try
Okay.
to, obviously train on those few modules. Okay, and give a very good overview and a good configuration level wise. Because Ariba BNI, for example, Ariba SLP, sourcing, these are the core modules. It's the heart of Ariba. Okay, the moment you learn, or you start learning this and trying to grasp the things over here, believe me, the other area of module will very easy for you. Okay, for example, you just wanted to bring a career in commerce automation. Okay, so those is getting exactly your S4 HANA basics and all. Okay, and but if you coming BNI, those is slightly different configuration, because Ariba is not driven on T code, or what you say, any coding is not there. Believe me, there's no code approach in Ariba. Okay, the earlier, because it's a SaaS product, right? Ariba is owning all the code. We are not even trying to see any code, right? So we are just trying to configure on the parameter or the template. Okay, even to have some custom field, we may need to request to SAP only to, hey, come and build for me. So that is how the SAP Ariba is. Okay, so we'll focus on few core module. after going to the exact training, you will be in a position to say, hey, I'm good in this modules. Okay, so it will be very easy for you once you get assimilated or get to know what different modules are, because based on your flavor or based on your past project experience or your career experience, you will try to get involved, and it will be quick and good for you. Okay.
Yeah, that's a very good explanation, Manish. So with our even with our experience with the past participants also, just to let you, Franklin, we do have a lot of modules in SAP Ariba. Means like we have discussed, like upstream, downstream, integration, and CIG we call it. But if you're going in depth of every module, there are a lot of things going to be here. So, for example, like you feel after going through the training, the entire training, and you feel like, oh, I'm feeling more interested in upstream only, for example. So you just more concentrate on upstream. There are a lot of jobs in upstream also. It's not like all the employers or all the uh, job openings are looking for entire end-to-end Ariba. Nobody is looking for that. Okay, nobody want you to be pro in all the areas. They are looking for the specializations most of the times. But right now also there are a lot of jobs who are looking for the combinations, but still you have, because you see, if you're learning a lot of things at one time, and we do have a training duration for almost 8 to 10 weeks. Okay, so going through a training for 8 to 10 weeks, and you are doing, of course you need to do a lot of practice. Okay, we are providing the server access. You need to sit and work on the system consistently. We'll be guiding you on that one. So it's near to impossible to master in all the areas. I'm very frank on this one. Okay, so how much do you work also, you cannot be mastering all the areas of Ariba. You'll be having the understanding. If somebody is talking on Ariba, you'll understand, oh, he's talking in this sense. Okay, you can catch it up. But once you are getting into the project of SAP Ariba, then you will understand like how the our teachings, whatever we have done is really was worth it. Okay, so at the to everyone, what we can say, yeah, just go through all the modules which we are talking, but try to choose two or three modules which are very interesting for you, and try to get into the Ariba, any of the Ariba project first. Then moving forward, that's really going to be very helpful. Okay, yeah, Manish, thank you so much,
Yeah.
appreciate.
Yeah, thanks. I think it's a ever, learning enthusiasm which you should possess, right? You should not like, hey, I learned this, I will be a pro in that, and definitely my career getting involved, because because right now we are living in an era which is getting changed very often, right? We never heard of AI or ML, I think 7 to 8 years before, right? So right now everything is getting changed. It's a fast pace. Okay, we have to either cope up with the new technology, or it is, unfortunately, I don't want to say, but we have to leave, right, this whole IT, which we should not, right? Because IT is one of the area where it is a leading across the market. It's a very high paying career is there. So it's very easy to assimilate, right? And there are multiple hybrid culture is there over here. So that is one of the area which we should have a just enthusiasm, or as a what to say, that you should be in a learning, ever learning mode on. Okay, as simple as that. Whatever your career or whatever your at the age, it doesn't matter. You should be in a enthusiastic for learning new things. Simple. Okay, so let's start Ariba delivery methodology. How Ariba exact project timeline looks like. It's a sample. Okay, uh, usually any Ariba project will either be few weeks to few month. Okay, so first of all, that can be distinguished. You might have heard of agile or waterfall in the software development life cycles. Okay, Ariba will follow a method. Sorry, Ariba will follow a deployment method called activate. It's a mix of both the world, right? It is not 100% agile, it is not 100%, it's a hybrid approach. Okay, so we distinguish as a project, whenever we start a project, we have six categories. First phase is called discover, then prepare, and then we have explore, realize, deploy, and run. Okay, as you go with the exact the layman language, the discover is nothing, just For example, we have week 0 when we are trying to onboard all our key stakeholder on the project. That is called the week 0. We should have proper, like preparation phase and the discover phase. We should understand what our business requirements are first, and then try to understand what the solution can, or the solution can deliver, what is the capacity of Ariba, which module should be plugged in to get the best out of my business requirement and best out of SAP Ariba. Okay, we have to identify all the business cases, and then the plan project execution. For example, a organization which is having 60 plus country, I'm just giving you a very rough idea, a pharma company, okay, which is having 60 plus uh, operation in their multiple country, so they should identify a proper project plan execution, okay, in which year or which month they want to go live. Okay, it can be waves. For example, wave 1 can happen for Asia Pacific or European region, right? Similarly, wave 2 will happen for the North America or the Brazil or the like South America region. So we should have a proper project plan, and that is actually getting happening in discover and prepare phase. Okay, so that is where all of your team members will get assigned which person will do the, for example, testing, which users will give the business requirement, who are the business approvers, who are the the steer committee members. So those things we should be having a very crisp understanding. Like as a consultant we will not have, but exact managers or the seniors, the senior consultant, they should have a rough figure that should be clearly defined in the week -4 to week 0 up till over here. Then starts the explore phase. We have to understand the existing as is process, the existing infrastructure or the existing connectivity, or which all system is present at a client level. Okay, and then we should go in a phase called realize. Okay, within explore we should also have some what to say, the supplier strategy, because it's a massive change for your existing supplier. Just believe me, a pharma industry where you have 100K supplier, okay, in the market, and they are doing business for with you, right? They should be made aware, hey, my landscape is now getting evolved in SAP Ariba. You have to come and do the business on SAP Ariba platform. So we should have a strategy or a proper flight plan, we call, for them to get onboarded, to get clear picture what is my custom requirement or what is the field level. So those will happen kind of a strategy wise during explore as well. Okay, we have to identify the audience for whom this project or whom Ariba projects is getting deployed and who will get impacted. Okay, in the realize phase it is the exact build, exact configuration, or whatever the requirement we have collected. For example, just think yourself as a consultant, senior consultant level position, and you should be in a position to convert your business requirement and then to your exact parameter or exact configuration, whatever you are having it right in your mind. So those is called in the realize phase, we call build and unit testing and other aspects. Okay, so deploy is nothing but the exact production or cut over. The moment everything is concrete, all the testing is happening, all the UAT unit testing is also done. So at that level you should be in a position to move all your configuration, all your customized setting in the production, right? So those is called deploy. Okay, and the last but not least is the run. Because every software go live, you might have seen many, for example, just think in your day-to-day website, the moment you open any website, there should be some glitches, or there should be very good refine of the fields, right? So just think of it, just think now Ariba. Okay, similarly in SAP Ariba, the moment we go live, there is a hypercare or the AMS project or the support project or the maintenance project. Okay, so those we call as a run. Okay, it is a continuous support. We usually hypercare is of 2 weeks after go live, or it depends on the customer how they want it. Okay, so that is the whole end to end Ariba activate methodology. Do you have any doubt? Because this is a very very important juncture of your what to say the Ariba uh, learning. This should be very much clear because this is how Ariba projects are getting delivered for the small to big client. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so let's go with the timeline. Okay, whatever I just given you in the past in the previous slide, just it is in the more visual representative. Okay, the preparation, that phase will happen in -8 week. Okay, for example, in the January phase, if it's a BNI, it's a full-fledged Ariba, for example. If that project is getting deployed, the preparation should start taking place for -8 week, and then the explore or the design phase should also happen in a kind of all these 7 to 6 weeks in the timeline. Okay, all the business requirement and other onboarding of your team member, right? All those should happen in the explore or the design phase. Okay, and then again we have multiple sprint. Okay, as the SDLC, what I called agile methodology. Okay, all the requirement may be on some of the tool called Jira, ServiceNow. Okay, so those are the project managing tools where your scrum master, okay, those people will come up in the call and try to ask where we are in the build phase, so and where we are in the testing phase. So here is the design phase of the Ariba usual. Okay, if you see a yellow line which is actually running across from the week 0, that is where the exact Ariba resource, a dedicated SAP employee, okay, that person will also support you. That is how the Ariba project is. Okay, usually it is obviously depend on the SOW between, or the agreement between the your business as well as their SAP counterpart. If they are also there, we will have a dedicated support from SAP. You are not alone. Okay, you will get some support from SAP shared services. They will try to help you with some of the setting, not all obviously, because they expect a consultant to work whatever they are expected to do. They will definitely do, or if you are stuck, you will get slight support from SAP Ariba shared services as well. So they will do all the customization, which as a consultant we cannot do, because it is their product. We are just trying to implement a solution built on cloud. Usually cloud products are no it is not a very customizable as we want. Okay, so that is the reason SAP Ariba will come and they will try to support us. Okay, so if the multiple things are there during testing, unit testing, okay, UAT sign off, everything is done. So then the cutover will happen in the matter of 2 weeks. All of your multiple month of hard work, what you have done in the testing environment, that will be carried to production during cutover. Okay, that is the kind of a freeze zone, you can say that, for the business as well. And then everything will be go live at a certain point of time, and then the hypercare start. Okay, so this is a project timeline, a very typical project timeline of Ariba. Now I will try to explain you in very basic steps what is the Ariba process flow in terms of your business. Okay, let's start. If you have any doubt up till now, you can ask, or you can just stop me if you have any other concerns or queries. Okay, SAP Ariba is again trying to recap what we just learned up till now. Sourcing and contract. Okay, we have to define a strategy as a procurement. Okay, procurement team is a team where they will do all the strategic things for their organization, how any procurement related things will happen for them, right? So they should have some definition or the clear strategy or concrete strategy, what category wise we want to procure, right? From which vendor we need to procure. Okay, so they have to identify and source the material or services according to their business need, as simple. Okay, up till now all the contracts should also be get, finalized once they are clear with certain vendor, that hey, I want to go ahead with particular vendor and create a proper contract to get ahead in the procurement cycle. Then the contract management will come over here. The trading partner is nothing but your supplier or vendor. It is just the other word or other terminology. Okay, again it's a additional feature, same for supply chain collaboration. You might have just heard in the few slide back that plan and forecast. Okay, the forecast collaboration of any demand which is getting deprecated, or you have some other planning for the goods, services, or any resource, those are also taken care. Okay, and based on those you can now create a purchase requisition within your BNI solutions. Okay, buying and invoicing solutions. So we have to execute purchase order, receive purchase order, whatever the goods which might have been shipped to, and shipped from the supplier premises, it will land to your own plant. Okay, so then the GR should also happen, right? So those will also happen on Ariba itself. Okay, all the receiving, and then the invoice creation, whatever the goods or ship notices or whatever supplier has given on Ariba, those is visible on the platform of Ariba. Okay, the invoice creation, the invoice management, again it happens from the supplier counterpart. They will also come on Ariba network, or they will try to interact on Ariba network to give those invoices and the credit memos if it's a return purchase order. Okay, and all the early payment option, for example, it's based on the payment term what they have defined, so they want to go with that, they can also go with the early payment options. Okay, and then the payment is actually initiated via bank, and this those can also be visible across the Ariba platform. Okay, so this is what a crisp recap what we just learned. Okay, coming to the process flow. Okay, just pay your utmost attention right now, whatever you uh, right now. This is one of the very important slide, or you can say that it is very important area. You need to understand, do we have a very very small and basic understanding of the procurement cycle, as well as what Ariba is capable of, and how your ERP system S4 HANA is getting interacted. So first, there are three bifurcation in this slide. ERP is one of, either just think of SAP ECC or S4 HANA. Okay, predominantly is it like S4 HANA going to be in the picture. Okay, then your SAP Ariba buyer and other application comes in the middle. Okay, and then Ariba network we call supplier portal as a just for reference for the layman language. Okay, you can just consider this as the your Ariba network or SAP business network. Okay, and in this slide we are gonna cover buying and invoicing. If you see this slightly blue, light yellow blue, sorry, light blue color, this will be your Ariba buying and invoicing. Your slight orange color will be the SLP ones. Okay, and Ariba contract and Ariba commerce automation, Ariba sourcing, and S4 HANA ECC. Okay, so let's start with the SLP first. To initiate anything you should have a vendor. Okay, to initiate a vendor registration or to onboard a vendor, you should have proper vendor registration. If you see, it may start from your Ariba buyer application, or vendor they can themselves start if they have a proper URL for your system. Okay, usually the registrations initiate from the Ariba buying and the Ariba SLP solution. Okay, and then all the interaction will happen within over here. All the data collection, all the certificate collection, everything happens in this area. Okay, and if everything is done, vendor approval, all these stakeholders, relevant stakeholders, they have approved, then automatic creation of the business partner will happen on S4HANA or vendor master in SAP ECC. Okay, so that is the SLP. Very straightforward this process flow is. Okay, so right now let's move to your Ariba BNI. Okay, so you have the other aspect. For example, you want to create a purchase requisition. Okay, and then you should have either catalog or non-catalog. Okay, so the catalog, if you see this arrow, it's again a bi-directional. Few catalog can reside on the Ariba network. Okay, based on the supplier tech savvy, how they are tech savvy. There can be static catalog or punch out catalog. In depth, definitely I'm gonna take care in the subsequent session. But as of now, you can just think of a material. Okay, just for example, iPhone. You want to just add into your cart. Okay, because you know, right? iPhone can be procured either from Amazon. It can be procured either from their supplier's own portal, that is Apple. Okay, so as of now just think that you are just navigating to the Amazon. Okay, you're just navigating within Ariba dashboard, you're trying to navigate to the Amazon and trying to procure iPhone over here. Okay, so those will get added to your cart. The purchase requisition, the purchase requisition will get submitted, approval will happen. Okay, so right now just think in a different example. For example, you want to procure a laptop. Okay, so those you are not sure you want to procure a laptop from Dell or for example Apple or Lenovo, right? So if you are an ambiguity situation, then you can create a sourcing request against a PR as well. Okay, so those again a RFQ can be circulated to different vendor. Okay, different vendor will respond with their appropriate price, the competitive price, that is we called RFQ response. Okay, so the quote comparison and approval will also happen, and straight away PR can be created after that. If we are satisfied or your procurement team is satisfied with certain price, then this can also happen over here. Okay, or if you see this is also a purchase requisition, you can skip this all process. You can just skip the sourcing process because you are certain that my catalog price is full and final. Okay, then you can initiate a PR approval process within the system and everything is fine, then purchase order will happen. Okay, the purchase order creation is a slight automatic over here. You need not to create explicitly purchase order. Okay, in Ariba, PR is your first, and you can kind of, that is the only uh, transaction which you are gonna do on the UI. The purchase order will get automatically created with help of PR. Okay, and there is no separate PO creation coming altogether. Either it can be copied, the PO number can be copied from S4 HANA, or it can be auto generated. Okay, so this is the landscape of as of now for the buying and invoicing. Okay, if you have any little doubt, you should stop me and re-ask. Okay, I can repeat for you. Okay, the purchase order, then it will get copied on your S4 HANA. Okay, up till here, I believe you people are clear, right? Okay, so there is one process. Just not think that now you are in the sourcing area. Okay, you now want to create a contract altogether. Okay, those contract will be created on the Ariba contract system. Okay, with the help of whatever the quote we have received from the vendor. Okay, and those contract will also be visible to the supplier on their portal on the Ariba network. Okay, and they can during invoicing they can use this or they can utilize this contract to create a invoice. Okay, so now if you see it is a separate process, you want to just send the contract to your S4 HANA as a outline agreement. Okay, so those is also possible. Okay, and you can straight away create a outline agreement. Outline agreement is a kind of a purchase order you can think of. Okay, in very high level I'm just giving you uh Ariba just think as a outline agreement as a kind of a separate purchase order, but it will have certain schedules and other aspect. Okay, so those are there. So this purchase order up till here, we if we are clear, then we can initiate this purchase order will go to the vendor. Okay, purchase order, all the data, there is no out of system communication, everything is on the system. Okay, there is nothing beyond the system, there is no PDF copy, there is no email sending to the vendor, those are era which is very primitive and very old. So coming to the Ariba, everything is on the system or on the network. Okay, the vendor will see the purchase order, they will try to either confirm it, or if they have some ambiguity, they will try to put a hold or cancel the purchase order, whatever they can do. But happy path scenario, they can confirm the, we can say, order confirmation. All the order acknowledgement will happen in your BNI solution. If your commerce automation is getting involved, those order confirmation can also travel to your S4 HANA. Okay, so next is the, in the cycle is the advance ship notice. Okay, those data will come back to your S4 HANA, okay, as a kind of a inbound delivery. If GR is also in place, GR will get initiated within your Ariba buying and invoicing solution. Okay, and GR copy will go to the S4 HANA. And the last, not last, because invoicing for them, for vendor, the last cycle is the invoice, right? To create a invoice, it can be a PO based, non PO based, based on the business requirement. Okay, those invoice will get created on SAP supplier network, and those actually getting in copied or getting reflected on the Ariba buying and invoicing. All the exception handling, for example, purchase order is, raised for 10 quantity, but for during invoicing they might have increased the quantity or they have changed the price itself. Okay, those will land in the exception queue, and those should be either getting rejected or it should be get, approved by the AP team of your buyer. Okay, of your business basically. If those are getting approved, then the proper invoice posting, FI document or AP document, you can say, those will happen over here. And then once the fully payment approved payment is running in S4 HANA, because S4 HANA is the responsible for running the payment cycle. Okay, so if those are also getting successfully or happy path scenario, those data will also travel back to the Ariba buyer network on the supplier portal, that is remittance advice. So this is end to end cycle. Believe me, whenever we go in the exact, we, each box we will try to explore more and more, because each box is obviously we cannot just cover everything in this 2 hour session. So because it will, each module will have many, sub round of explanation further. Okay, so if you have any doubt, do let me know. Are you all clear? There are two things: either you like I might confuse you, or you are totally getting what I'm saying, because there can be some
Yes,
because
yes. That's a saving, saving,
No,
right?
Manish, yes,
yeah.
yes, yeah, I can understand. Thank
Okay, okay, okay.
If
So
no questions means there will be possibility of asking no questions. That is either 100% understood, you didn't understand anything. So I hope the first case is the case scenario
yeah.
here. Yeah. So it was a very good explanation, Manish. Really appreciate your explanation process here. Yeah.
So
So
yeah. So I think only one slide, then we'll go to the actual screens of Ariba. I wanted to showcase that as well. I think we have still time left, Iraj. So shall I go ahead, right?
yes, yes. You can quickly go with them. After that, you show the system to them,
Hmm.
like just a quick simulation of the system, how SAP Ariba system looks like. Then
Yeah.
I'll be showing the tools to them, like which are the documents we are sharing there, how the process of training is going to be there, how the
Hmm.
be sharing the material to every one of them, and how they can get
Okay.
this.
Okay. Okay. I think you're cutting. I'm not sure for me or for everyone, but just check your.
All right, we couldn't hear you.
No,
We,
yes, yes. His voice. cutting through.
So Ira, just check your connectivity. I think you were cracking your
Oh,
voice in between. Just
my
check
voice
your.
is cracked.
Yeah,
Okay, okay. I'll just check it out. Yeah.
yeah, okay. So no worries. He was just trying to, show, just say that he wanted to show some document which he, promised during the initial session or the initial part of the 1.5 hour back, right? So let's, get to. So I just wanted to cover for you guys the master data. This is very, very important because any system should have some data as a base. We should not change, very often, right? I'm just giving you a very rough idea because people who are from S4, they will try to know what is the significance of master data is. Okay, so I'm just giving you S4 HANA public cloud. Okay, again, S4 HANA is hosted on multiple ways. You can just think of either it can be on premise or on cloud. Again, on cloud, it is a public cloud or private cloud. Okay, so there are multiple ways of looking into it. Just think S4 HANA as a base over here. You have different setup called master data integration. Okay, if you recollect, just I think 40 minutes back we discussed Ariba Cloud Integration Gateway. That is a pass through. Okay, whatever master data, actually all of your master data source of truth is S4 HANA. Okay, so that is where the source of data is actually MDI or master data integration is responsible to collect all the master data and send it to the Ariba middleware called Ariba Cloud Integration Gateway, and from there it is actually getting replicated to Ariba databases. Okay, SLP is one of the database, and the sourcing, contract and buying and invoicing, all the data actually get distributed, or you can say it is hosted on the cloud. Okay, Ariba has their own database where this all master data is getting stored. Okay, and all the data will get distributed among themselves. Okay, so let's go through the screens now. Just a minute. I hope my other browser is visible to you.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Thanks for the confirmation. Okay. So Ariba, okay, I'm just trying to log into the system. Before that, I should have told you. Okay, the first and foremost, we should have a URL for us. Okay, and then there are multiple ways of login. In short, there is single sign-on or user ID or password. Those mechanisms are there over here. And after, if your client has configured this MFA kind of thing, multi-factor authentication, then you will be prompted to enter 6-digit code from your phone app. Okay, either it can be Google Authenticator or Microsoft Authenticator based on the setting. Okay, or it can be a Okta or multiple service provider. Okay, so this is how the dashboard looks like. Okay, of Ariba. This is, first of all, I will try to explain this URL because this is also having a very much significance than you can think of, right? It is not just the URL what you are just thinking. Okay, so starting 4 to 5 character of the URL is where the data center lies. If you see AU, so this particular site is hosted on Australia server. Okay, or Australia database realm, you can say like that. The sourcing, whatever, if you recollect, we mentioned as a upstream. Upstream is nothing, all your sourcing, meaning sourcing strategy suite, all the supplier, SLP, you take think of sourcing, you can think of contract, you can think of spend analysis, you can think of, those are actually hosted, or those are actually navigated via sourcing URL. Okay, and this is the slight technical which is not required because it is Amazon web services or the GCP platform. So the next thing is the realm. This is the key kind of a account, you can just think of. Okay, each client or each buyer will have their individual or their individual account, and that account can be a numeral or it can be a what do you say, that alphanumeric. Okay, as of now you can see this site is called Professor DSSP, and hyphen t is denoting the test site. If hyphen t is missing, then it is a production. Okay, uh, usually hyphen t is only applicable for the test site, and in Ariba majority of the client is only having two site. Okay, there is a no concept of called three architecture in Ariba, but from few years back, like 4 to 5 years back, they have given with supplemental realm, because many big fortune company they want to integrate their development S4 HANA system with the development of Ariba. Okay, so that can also be bring, but there is some additional cost for the buyer, okay, or for the organization who is trying to start Ariba. In short, you can think of only two tier landscape: test and production, as simple as that. Okay, as of now. So these are dashboard how it looks like. Again, every this is, it is called a kind, what I'm trying to drag and drop, you can just think these are tiles. Okay, this is all customizable. Okay, you can drag here and drop. This is the beauty of you can have your own dashboard the way you want. Okay, so I'm just clicking on home to give you a rough figure or rough idea how a different dashboard or different tiles look like. Okay, all of your for example, your event, RFP event, they are at which stage, as a kind of uh, pictorial representation it is given. The bar graphs are also there for the contract which is getting expired or expiring. Those level of details are visible in the dashboard. Okay, so this is the complete setup of Ariba. If I go module by module wise, if you see the supplier management, this is where your SLP come into picture, or supplier life cycle, your supplier onboarding will come in the picture. Okay, so if I click on more, so if you see there are multiple modules. Sourcing is one of the module, contract is one of the module. Okay, and others are also following. Okay, for example, supplier risk is there. Okay, and coming to the procurement or invoicing, the how we have to switch it. Okay, there is a concept called switching of the site. Okay, this is the parent site. If you see, this is the parent site and child concept. Okay, I think I can explain you in more depth of the parent and child, but think from there are two sites. Okay, based on URL we are trying to bifurcate. Okay, sourcing is usually hosted on the parent site. The moment I click on this small globe icon, okay, this is a kind of a called site switch. This C1, if you see very carefully, it is C1 hyphen test. Okay, this is a child site. The moment I click on this, if you see very clear, I know you have to observe over here, the site is getting changed with the buyer URL. Earlier it was on sourcing URL, now it is on the buyer URL. Okay, so your downstream, whatever I showed 10 minutes back, it was the upstream. So this is your downstream. Downstream is nothing but, if you recollect, operational procurement. All of your buying, invoicing stuff, your requisitioning, all those stuff, or the invoice, all those stuff belong to this area of the site buyer. Okay, as simple as that. Okay, so here, from here we can switch back, and we can go back to the sourcing. So this is how it is look like. Again, coming to explaining the dashboard, so whatever the requisition you have created, those will look over here in the small tile. If you have a big tile, for example this, all the data whatever you have created, you can just click on it and go into it. For example, I'm just clicking on this. Okay, so this is what the PR looks like. Okay, the summary, what different master data area you have given. So everything is there, what line item, what look like, this is a kind of a catalog which I just explained in the past process flow. This is a kind of a catalog, right? What quantity you want to procure, what price is there, everything over here it is written very. And all these are master data. This is coming either from S4 HANA or hosted on SAP Ariba database. Okay, so this is how your PR will look like, the status will look like. So this is how it is. Okay, so this is a quick overview of the live screens. The other screen which I wanted to show you is the guided buying. Okay, just a minute. Uh, yeah, so this is a separate system called guided buying. Okay, this, if you see the rich UI feel, and the feel is very very different from this screen. Okay, so this is a very, what is it, kind of a more clumsy you can think of. Okay, so Ariba has given for their end user more simplified manner of creating a purchase requisition or managing their day to day end cycle. Okay, there can be many users in a buyer organization who will come on Ariba very less, frequently. Okay, they will never, hardly they will come. They will just procure, okay, few things. For them, it is a very simplified dashboard. Okay, so they can create a purchase requisition for somebody, or they can, on behalf of. So if they can manage their request, or they can just see, what they have seen, what they have raised, what is pending in their approval queue. Those are also clearly, visible in a very simplified manner. So this is a separate system altogether, we call guided buying. Again, the differentiator is very clearly written, GB. Okay, I will take 4 more minutes before I hand over to Iraj. Okay, if you recollect another system called supplier.ariba.com. Okay, so usually whatever we have seen, these two URLs, okay, this is called spend management, buyer, or sourcing, or this is called the guided buying. The other system of Ariba is called the Ariba network or SAP business network. Okay, so the URL is very straightforward. For buyer, it is buyer.ariba.com. Okay, and for the supplier, it is supplier.ariba.com. Okay, so we have to just, sorry, we have to just enter. Okay, and then we have to, this is a dashboard what it's look like. Okay, for the supplier login, any supplier, irrespective of their country, they can register. Okay, and even during the training, you will have their, you will have, own account irrespective of the access. Okay, you can go and create, even right now you can go and create after this session. Just have a quick, walk through how this network reach and feel looks like. So you just need to have the email ID, that's it. Okay, nothing more, and rest all dummy data you can give. I'll just try to give you which I created for the, I'm just giving this email ID and then the password. Okay, and then sign in. It can be single sign on based on the configuration, but that is slightly advanced. Okay, we'll deal with the, as of now, with the, user ID and password. So this is the dashboard, how it looks like for the SAP Business Network. Okay, all the enablement discovery, like if you want to find your, buyer, like, your vendor, which you want to just search across the globe, you can have a discovery. Or you want to sell something as a supplier, you want to sell something new, right? You can have a potential buyer, you can post your product description, your prices, everything on the Ariba discovery. Again, it's a very big blown module of Ariba. It's a separate module. All of your purchase order, all of your transaction level of data will also be visible in this kind of a dashboard. Okay, so let me try to switch the account to test mode to give you a slight more realistic view. Okay, of SAP Business Network. As a consultant, usually we will have the test as well as the prod level of excel access, and we will be the administrator kind of access. Okay, you will have all the access, obviously in training and even during your live project whenever you are getting onboarded with Ariba. So you will have majority of the access. Okay, because you will try to support it, right? As an end user, you are not going right now after this training, I believe so. Okay, so this is how SAP Business Network looks like. Okay, the dashboard is very simple, straightforward. Whatever data is coming, whatever the openings is there or the posting is there, so those are visible over here. Again, this is a tile kind of a concept, your company profile and everything. You want to track any purchase order, you can just give it and click on track. Okay, So that is how it is. And you can control your settings from here. Okay, all the configuration, again everything can be controlled over here. All the user notification preferences, right? All the other feature, gen AI features, okay, notifications feature, the medium of communication, routing, all this basic configuration, everything can be configured on this platform. How you interact, meaning how this supplier interact with the buyer, those can be customized, or can be given as a whole Ariba overview from this screen. You can just think of. Okay, so I think that's it from my side. If you have any doubt on the dashboard, I can try to show you that particular feature or functionality. Just let me know. Okay, uh, if you have no doubt, I think, Iraj, if you have, uh, if you're there.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
Manish, I'm here only.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So, guys, if you are having any doubts with Manish, you really will be really helpful. Like if you can ask him, so he'll be, explaining the things in more detail. I hope everyone's doubts are clear with respect to the subject wise.
So I have a question.
Yes, yes, Frank.
So during Manish's presentation, there was one part when it was talking about the agile system, and he presented some screens that had to do with go live, uh, um, setting up the system, the Ariba system. I wanted to understand if what you have here are different tracks, that you have training to use Ariba without any system integration, and you have this deployment also as a different track. Because I'm thinking if I'm gonna do, so I'm doing Ariba because my office intends to adopt it. They have an old ECC 3.0 and they're gonna move, but they're not gonna move yet. And I'm gonna go through this training before they do. So I'm thinking that the part where we're gonna deploy the system, apart from me using the test versions of the system, which you may have, is not gonna be part of what I would need. So I wanted to understand if you have different tracks.
No, the methodology, in my opinion, the methodology is going to be the same whether you're using ECC system or S4HANA system. The process never change here. Manish, you can, put a
Yeah,
light
yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly. So the process will never change. The migration, okay. So it is lift and shift, okay. The whatever ECC to S4 migration will happen, Frank, okay. So that is we call lift and shift, okay. The Ariba will be a brand new deployment. If Ariba is already there, okay, it is just the navigating or just tweaking the configuration, switching off your ECC connection and turning on your S4 HANA configuration. Okay, so those we called migration project. Okay, it's not the greenfield. You can just think of brownfield implementation. Okay, that is the cycle what we call. So it is lift and shift as well as the brownfield implementation over there, Frank. I believe, and the few. I think I can give you one session over you with Frank. Okay, and the others basically that how the migration project also looks like. Okay, during the exact training when we start as a full fledged.
No,
Is
I
that okay?
understand you.
Hmm.
What I meant was that, so for me, my interest is in getting Ariba. My office is gonna do away with ECC because they have to move to Foana at some point. But my interest is getting Ariba from you, not the product, the training. And is that a different track from this? Would there be the people in here? Will some will be going for training and some will going for deployment? Do you understand my question?
No, no, no. Franklin, like we are doing the training here, the entire training, end-to-end training. This is going to be a complete end-to-end training. So we'll be discussing about the deployment. We are discussing about the project implementation. We are discussing about the different modules separately. Everything we'll
Ah,
be discussing in detail. So it's not like
I
we are
understand you now. Okay. Okay.
training in the bits and pieces. Okay, so
Okay.
to everyone, I want to tell this is a complete end-to-end training. So whichever the modules we have discussed in today's demo session, which covers all SAP Ariba modules. Okay, so all those modules we are going to cover in the sessions going forward. Okay, so that's only the reason we have kept this training only on the weekend. So all working professionals are going to be part of this training, and we are going to cover everything in detail and a very not in a very fastened way. We are going to be in a very slower pace. We are going to go till every one of you will understand how exactly the different modules in SAP will actually going to be implemented, okay, with clear concept and configurations. Yeah, hope you got my answer.
I
Is there
understand now. Thank you. You've answered my
yeah, thank you
question.
so much. Is there anyone else, guys, who wants to ask to Manish? Mm, 1 second. Okay, not an issue. So guys, can you see my screen right now?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So now we'll be discussing little on how we are going to share the training material and the training recordings as well. So I'll just brief you how the training goes ahead going forward. We'll be having the sessions on the same time only on the weekend, Saturdays and Sundays. Okay, usually 3 hours on Saturday and 3 hours on Sunday. So in a week we'll be covering 6 hours per week we'll be covering. So the training would be around 8 to 9 weeks, depending upon the queries we are going to take. We are not going to skip any of the queries, guys, from you. And always we encourage everyone to be, participate in an interactive session. Ask as many queries as you can so that, others also can benefit. That's the thing. So after the sessions on Saturdays and Sundays, of course, there'll be 6 hours of recordings we need to upload. So we'll be using this Google Drive. Okay, so which is approximately 2 TB of Google Drive is there with us. So we are having another Google Drive as well. So we are having multiple Google Drives for this one. This is specifically for Ariba we are going to have. So as you can see in the screen, so we are doing this training since 2017 onwards. Okay, so there are a lot of batches we have covered. Okay, so far we have covered these many batches. So many batches are there. So now the batch is 104 is going on. So which is the weekend morning batch is also there, which is already going on right now. So the documentations are going to be in this fashion. So we'll be providing the documentation, the certification material, notepads, whichever the classwork going on, and also the recordings. Okay, the session recordings which are going to be there. So anyways, like this is the recently started one. So I'll be showing to you any of the batch which is which is already been completed kind of batch. Okay, let's say batch 98. Okay, I'll just go for the 100 batch. Okay, batch number 100. Okay, yeah. So here also the same documentation framework is going to be there. Okay, so here you can see all the recorded sessions. Okay, so all the recordings of the sessions will be there, complete, like how many recordings are there. Every session is approximately 2.5 hours. Sometimes it may go for 3.5 hours also, guys. So all the session recordings are put in the same one folder here, and the documentations, the document, the certification material, as I told you, right? So somebody was discussing like we'll be having the certifications which are really going to be there. So little discussion on the certification. You see, once you go to this particular site, learning.sap.com/certifications, you'll be finding all the list of certifications over here. So there are many certifications in this. So we need to select the categories. So which category we want to go ahead and go select the certification, like intelligent spend management and supply chain. These two areas I'm selecting over here because SAP Ariba is having approximately 4 to 5 certifications here. Okay, so now you can see whichever are starting with AR. Okay, C underscore AR is Ariba certifications. Okay, so you can see this is certification which is uh, implementation consultant for Ariba supplier management. Okay, and this is, you can see, procurement, like P2P process, like we have discussed, like AR underscore P2P process. So this one is P2P certification. So likewise, we are having contracts certification separately, and there is one more is SLP as well. We need to check it out here in this one. So which is the, so in short, I can say there are many certifications, but prominently people are going either with the sourcing certification or P2P certifications. Okay, so there is not very much these certifications are not very mandatory as such, I can say. But of course, as Manish said initially, that's going to add an weightage to your resume. Okay, if your employer or if your HR is saying your resume and you are SAP certified, no matter which module you are certified into, so they will give a preference to a certified consultant always. And believe me guys, clearing the certification is very easy, not so difficult. We have 96% of success rate. The participants who have already attended our training already has cleared at least one or two certifications. Okay, because in our training we are not only giving the project based training, but also uh, the in-depth kind of theoretical aspects as well as hands-on experience we are providing over here. So that knowledge is more than enough for you guys to clear the certifications, whichever the certifications you want it. So here we are having certain dumps, the certification dumps, where you can see how the certification looks like. Okay, the exam guides are there basically. So there are many exam guides are there here, so in which you can see the how they looks like and all those things. So basically you can see, I think it is encrypted one. Yes, I'm giving showing you the basic thing. And we do have the dumps also, where you can see different modules, like how they look like certification process, like which sort of questions they'll be asking. So I think it is uh, encrypted, but you'll be having a simulation over here guys, so you can see the actual questions over here, how it looks like and everything. So in short, I can say you'll be having the material, the recordings completely, certification material, and lot many documents. Okay, there are a lot of documents which are given by our consultants here. Okay, like project documentation will be there, SAP Ariba project documentations. There are many project documentation, like template foundations, okay, administration. Okay, all these documents are like project documentation which are needed for you as whenever you are onboarded in a project. So once you are onboarded in any project, it should not be like very new to you. So you'll be always having an understanding how this document looks like. Okay, so those documents, real time documents, will be providing to you guys. Apart from this one, we do have the standard documents. Okay, so there are a lot of things, lot of readings we need to understand. Like for example, CIG is there. Okay, so in CIG, like there are many documents, like step by step configuration guides are also there. Okay, so in which like we are going to provide you how it looks like with a proper screenshots. Okay, we have taken a proper screenshots, and uh, we have the explanation down the screenshots as well. So by going through the documentation, every topic you can have a clear concepts, clear understanding of on that one. So this is the documentation part. Okay, apart from that one, the running notes in the session, so all this will be provided to you, and this access will be having for the lifelong. Okay, there is no such thing like after 1 year we are going to revoke the access or kind of thing. So the whole access is going to be there with you for lifelong, all the recording, certification material. And time to time we are going to upgrade this certification material dumps as well, because these certification material may change. Okay, so the back in 2020 or 2024, whichever the certifications are there right now, the certifications are already been changed. So we'll be always updating this particular certification material dump folder over here. Okay, so these are the things. And apart from this one, the server access which Manish has already shown to you, that same server access which Manish is working on, that one in the sessions itself will be provided to you for 2 months. Okay, 60 days from the time when you want to initiate it. Let's say for example, every one of you got enrolled right now. Okay, you feel like, oh, I want to wait for 1 week of time. Okay, and to see how the sessions goes on and grasp, let me grasp the things, then only I want to do the hands on. So you can do that one as well. Okay, you can keep your server access on hold for at least 15 days or 1 month. Okay, after that you can start your server access. From the time you have initiated, it will be 60 days from the initiation time going to be. Okay, this is a little brief on the things. You have any questions, you can ask me, guys, if you want to discuss more on this.
I don't have any questions. I just wanted to say, I Raj, that was well explained, and thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. Anybody else? Abhilasha, you have any questions?
No, I was just following up whatever Manish was explaining, and I think it was detailed and very well explained. The point is that I have to decide which module is, good as in like beneficial for me at this point of time, and how to move forward with that, because it was a lot of information put together for a beginner like me. So it's like, um, I have a question though, that would is there any possibility that we have this presentation with us, shared somewhere with us?
You see, we'll be sharing today's recordings with every one of you. Okay,
Yeah,
so
great. Yeah.
you can have it. This is totally free. Whether you enroll or you don't enroll doesn't matter. Okay, some of the participants present here are already pre-enrolled with us. Like they have seen our past demo sessions and they already have enrolled. So this is a first session for them. But for the people who are, just today's session they have attended for the first time, we will be
Yeah.
sharing the demo session recordings to them. And to answer your another question, Bhilasha, I can say like we are covering all the modules. Okay,
Yeah.
it would be very early to say or early to pick a small module or any other modules which you can see. What I always suggest, I'll be working very closely with all of you guys. Okay, not only during the training but also when you are preparing your resume preparation, I'll be helping you out and how to apply that one. If at all you got a call from any of the company, for example with a job description, I am going to see that job description and I'll be putting a conference call or one-on-one call with Manish to you to just to prepare for the interview. Like not exactly question by question, but also like based upon the job description we can sense out like
Yeah.
what they are expecting from us. So though that heads up is very important. Okay, and that
Hmm.
is missing in a lot of trainings. Okay, there should be somebody behind you to boost up your confidence that we are going to do it for you guys and helping you out in preparing your resume, helping you out attending your interview calls. And after the interview also we are going to analyze like what happened in the interview, where you got weaker. So what would be the next step to polish your next interview. So all those things will be always there, and this is not the end of the relationship after the finishing of the course. No. So we are going to create a WhatsApp group, okay, among all the participants here. Okay, and we are not going to leave you as long as you want to be with us, even post training also. So it's a very long term relation. Okay, we
Hmm.
have many WhatsApp groups. I can say I'm still in contact with the people who have started their training back in 2017 also. They are in a very good position. They have very good discussion in the WhatsApp groups going on right now. So with respect to the projects, with respect to the openings happening, so we are creating a community over here in a which is going to be very fruitful for every one of us. Yeah.
Hmm. Thank you.
Yeah, most welcome. Is there anyone else, guys? Okay, Nitin, Shishir. All right then, guys. So I hope this session was very helpful for every one of you. Thank you so much, guys, for your time, and thank you so much, Manish. I really appreciate the patience and the consistency you have maintained in explaining all the concepts in a very easy fashion. Okay, really appreciate your knowledge and explanation. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.